Claude has been lobotomized for the last 2 to 3 weeks. I don't know if it's just me, but Claude for the last 2 to 3 weeks has been fully lobotomized. And the Claude that we know in the opus of like shipping actually valuable code has been harder and harder. I'm spending more tokens and not getting the quality of work that I want. And so it's forced me into this position to basically build my own harness. And if you're in my community, I'm giving you guys version 2. And so with version 2, if we take a look at it, this is what I'm building here. This is because I also want to share like my thesis and what I'm working on, because this is fascinating to me. I'm super nerding out about this. So here's what we're replacing. We're replacing everything with OpenRouter. If you guys don't know about OpenRouter, no limit, and you have access to all the models. Because I'm tired of paying the subscriptions will always handicap you. Now, there are over how many models here? Over 500 AI models to choose from. Why are you watching my live stream? Because you're watching because I'm sharing the latest cutting edge, and this is the tools. These are the models that I'm going to be playing with for the next week, testing out. So I want to share this with you guys so you guys could take a screenshot. Thou shalt not limit John and thou shalt share thy secrets. I do not gatekeep on this live stream. You guys are blessing me with your attention, and so please just comment and like. That just helps the algorithm find other entrepreneurs that want to make a few money. That's all I care about. So from here, if we look at it, this is now our dream team. Let me grab this real quick. Can you show me the different models and then the different positions on which ones you're using them for different roles? Because you're using different, because the concept is basically you do not want the same model for every task. That's like hiring a senior engineer who's very expensive. Here's a better analogy. It's like hiring an attorney to do everything from rewriting documents to answering emails to doing strategic questions. That means that there's some beginner tasks in there, some basic stuff, and some advanced stuff that's in there. You do not want to charge the same hourly rate, or you do not want to use the same model, because everyone that's been relying on Claude subscription for last week, I don't know about you guys, but Claude has not been shipping good code. He says it's done, he's hallucinating, and this is a liability. So that's why a lot of us are forced to try other models. These are the ones that I've like came across. One of the biggest things is actually using Sonnet 5 for the UI UX, and then DeepSeek came in really good as far as because a lot of when you're building with models, doing UI UX, making it look amazing. That was another thing. Fable 5. Sean's asking about Fable. The question was, I've maxed out Fable so much it's not sustainable. Let's put it this way, because when you use Fable, you're actually paying more for latency. Latency is the time it takes to actually respond. So actually it's more efficient to actually get smaller, more efficient models to work more faster than trying to Fable 5 everything. So that's my thing, is I can't rely on a Fable 5 or a Codex 5.6 Soul all the time, although they're really great. I need one orchestrator, one implementer, one reviewer, and then if we look here, okay, he's going to give us this like really cool chart because I want to explain that, all the different models for them. So from this, and now and then in the background, I'm just using herder. So this is herder.dev. I'll just do this, herder.dev. I love it. I'm not gonna lie. I really like Herder. Like Herder, there you go. Herder's been really fun for basically, because you can basically, it's a whole remote terminal. You basically can manage multiple terminal sessions. But the key thing, the reason why I swapped from Herder to basically from CMux is the whole concept that he can launch his own tabs. So in here, there are, if we think of it, just to kind of show you a little one-on-one on how basically Herder's just like organized. I would just do this so you guys could see. Okay, so basically from here you have spaces at the very top, so you even get money skill. You guys know I have a get money skill. So there's basically, these are projects and tabs. In each project or tab, let's pick this one for example, there are tabs. So it's the tabs that are organized in spaces. Think of a space as a folder on the left hand side. So we got folders on the left hand side. In each folder is a collection of tabs, and in each tab is a different agent that's working on a different task, for example. So the reason why, oops, oh, interesting. Let's see, 2 payroll subscription. Oh, this guy's doing a whole, oh, okay. Okay, fine. He's just actually going to show us the different models. Actually, really cool. Okay, let's actually meet the dream team. Herder is great. Yay! I will I will convert everyone to Mac and Herder and Terminal and like because you get dangerous AI superpowers. That's why. Like, I wish I had someone see. They're like you're not finding this in the AI newsletters. Like, there's no AI newsletter that's talking about Herder. So so it's like to me, I gave up watching AI news. You guys could like stop watching AI news, just follow my channel because like we'll show you like how we're actually implementing AI. So DeepSeek 4 came in. Now this one is going to be doing. So there's the bulk worker, there's utility, there's the builder, there's the starter, there's the closer, there's the designer, there's the referee. There's different roles for different agents because they do different specialized tasks. For example, hiring a developer or a UI UX for front end and making sure I have a dedicated model that is solely just for UI UX. Because let's be honest, Claude and Codex, like you're burning a lot of tokens for just the feature and you want some really good UI UX from it. So this was actually subjective of like choosing this one from the different models. And then we have heavy tasks is going to be in a Sonnet 5. Then we're breaking things down to our light worker. Kimmy 2.5 is like super cheap. Let me actually just ask him for a second because I really want to nerd out for 2 seconds on this. Let's just do this one. Okay, so ooh, there's some juicy information. Ooh, are we gonna nerd out together? Let's nerd out on some specs. Peep this. So this is, now you're seeing my harness. We're gonna nerd out on my harness. Look at my team and look how nice I am, making it so nice and big so you guys could take screenshots. Say thank you, John. Put thank you in the chat because we're all learning and growing together. I feel like Mr. Rogers for AI. Okay, so from here we're separating different roles. I need someone for utility, for bulk edits that doesn't need to go crazy, so that's going to be DeepSeek. And then we have a builder that's going to be Quen 3. The cost is super cheap for work. That's the reason why, and I experienced this when I built Cam. Not every task is like needs to be to a senior engineer. You're experiencing this with high like OpenClaw bills. If you have an OpenClaw or Hermes, you're spending a lot of money because you're giving all the tasks, junior level tasks and senior level tasks, to the same employee, and he's expensive, his hourly rate. So that's why what we're doing here is we're distributing the workload across different team members so that we could mark up that margin. That's all we're doing. Let's be honest. We're marking up the margin for tokens and being more efficient than doing the subscriptions. So that's why we're getting super nerdy. So then we have a closer that's going to be like going in. He actually, notice the starter is a different model than the closer. It's like having a different person audit the code because you don't want the same model to audit and review your code. That would be like having the same student review his work, and he says, yeah, everything's great, but I know for the people that are having Codex check Claude Code's work, they're finding Claude Code is missing a lot of gaps. So having two models, by being model agnostic, you can have them battle for your attention from there. And then I threw in a front end designer because you can't go cheap on a front end designer. And then also it's the last thing that like it's the most underrated in when you're building, because most all the apps are just database apps. They're just Postgres databases. That's really all you're building. There's nothing fancy, but the UI UX, there's a lot that goes into it. And then here we have our orchestrators. So notice we do have some that are on subscriptions. We're not canceling our subscriptions. We're trying to reduce the amount of subscriptions that we need so that we can optimize and use them as for their bread and butter, so that we can use a Fable or a 5.6 by the Codex, or so that these are the orchestrators. They will orchestrate the workload and then distribute it to the worker bees. And then we have Claude and Codex that are going to do final merge and reviewing before it actually goes live. And then also browser also here, and yeah, it's basically going to use Claude Code for the browser to do actually automation from there. So complexity will tier out based on how complex is the task, and then based on that it's going to assign the right worker to then go delegate and work on it, blah 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 blah. blah 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 blah. I'm just trying to think if there's see if there's anything else nerdy in here. Yeah, and then we had to cut some models from the team. Some models like Minimax did and Quen did not make the cut. We had to test them. We had to battle test them to see, like, will they make the roster? If they don't make the roster, they don't earn, then basically they're not going to work. So yeah, this is, and then they've got escalations. So basically, it starts off with the bulk editor, then goes to the coder, then goes to the worker, then goes to the heavy, just in case if code rejects or gets rejected, then it will escalate the model, because not all code that gets shipped meets the criteria for it to work. Basically, like, it still needs to get reviewed, and so it needs to get sent back for rework. And so here you can basically, it has an escalation queue in it, which is actually kind of cool, so that it will escalate if there's rework, so that no matter what, the work will get done by someone senior on the team, basically. So this is how I'm managing it in Herder, and then we're doing all of this over here, that's our meter squad from there, and then we're swapping it out to basically so that we're using OpenRouter for it. And then what are we building? Let's actually show you guys what we're building. I think I may have to ask him for the login for it. Let me see. Let me show you guys Nova, so you guys can see what we're actually building with this. Saturday. We have lots of apps. Saturday workshop. Run local for demo. Okay, so in a moment I'm going to grab Nova, which is basically the CRM, because a lot of people I hope to inspire is basically build your own CRM and self-host it for $5 a month, and then you can basically get all the features that go high level, and you don't have to pay the go high level tax.